Have you ever wondered why some seniors seem to drift from the people they love most? It's not just the gray hair, the creaky joints, or the slower pace of life. As we age, certain habits, small sneaky ones, can creep into our daily routines, pushing friends, family, even strangers away. These aren't the obvious changes like forgetting names or needing glasses. They're subtle behaviors, often unnoticed by the person doing them, that can make aging feel lonelier, more stressful, and far less joyful than it could be. The worst part, most seniors don't even realize they're falling into these patterns. But here's the silver lining: once you see these habits for what they are, you can change them, and that change can transform your life. Let me introduce you to Margaret, a 70-year-old former schoolteacher who used to light up every room she entered. In her small town, she was known for her warm smile, her knack for storytelling, and her ability to make anyone feel at home. Her backyard was the go-to spot for summer picnics, and her grandkids couldn't wait to spend weekends baking cookies or hearing her tales of the old days. But over the past few years, something shifted. Her phone stopped buzzing with calls. Neighbors waved from a distance instead of stopping to chat. Family gatherings felt strained with fewer invitations coming her way. At first, Margaret blamed the world. Everyone's so busy these days, she thought. But late at night, as she sat alone in her quiet living room, a nagging question crept in. Had she done something to push people away? Margaret didn't set out to isolate herself, but bit by bit, habits piled up. She started grumbling about everything: the weather, the news, her aches and pains. She let her appearance slide, thinking, "Who's looking anyway?" She clung to old routines, dismissed new ideas, and even turned down help when she needed it most. These small choices added up, creating a wall between her and the people she loved. Margaret's story isn't unique. So many seniors slip into habits that make aging harder, lonelier, and less fulfilling. But here's the good news: it's never too late to rewrite the story. Today, we're diving into 10 annoying things seniors do as they age that no one talks about, and more importantly, how to break free from them. These habits can quietly dim your connections and your joy, but recognizing them is the first step to staying vibrant, connected, and truly alive. Stick with us, because number 7 is a game changer that catches most people off guard, and by the time they notice it, it's often too late. Before we jump in, if this resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us share this life-changing wisdom with others. Now let's get started. Number 1, falling into a negativity spiral. Margaret never thought of herself as a pessimist. She was just speaking her truth. But as the years went by, her conversations took a darker turn. Mornings started with complaints about her sore knees or the chilly weather. Turning on the TV, she'd sigh at the state of the world: politics, prices, you name it. When her daughter shared news about a new job, Margaret couldn't help but say, "In my day, we stayed at one job for life." She thought she was being honest, but over time, her words built a barrier. Her daughter's calls grew shorter. Friends avoided deep conversations, steering clear of topics that sparked her rants. Even her grandkids, who once loved her stories, started making excuses to skip visits, saying they had homework or plans. What Margaret didn't see was that negativity, even if it feels justified, wears people down. No one wants to walk away from a chat feeling drained or discouraged. It's easy to slip into this habit. Aging brings challenges like physical discomfort, rapid societal changes, or frustrations with technology. Venting feels natural, but when it's your default, it pushes loved ones away. Studies show that chronic negativity can even harm your health, raising stress levels and weakening your immune system. So, how do you break the cycle? Start with a positivity pledge. Before any conversation, share something good: a tasty meal, a funny moment, or a kind gesture you noticed. For example, "I saw the most beautiful sunrise today," sets a warm tone. Set a complaint boundary. Allow yourself 1 minute to vent, then pivot to something constructive. If your grandkid mentions a new hobby, don't criticize, Be curious. Ask, what do you love about it? Curiosity builds bridges. Criticism builds walls. Margaret tried this starting her next family dinner with, "I'm grateful we're all here." The mood shifted, everyone stayed longer, laughed more, and she felt a spark of connection return. Reflect on your own talks. Are they lifting people up or weighing them down? Share one positive habit you've embraced in the comments below. Number 2, neglecting your personal spark. Margaret used to love getting ready for the day. She'd pick a colorful scarf spritz on her favorite perfume and style her hair just so. Her students always complimented her vibrant energy. But as she aged, she let it slip. Who am I dressing up for? She'd think, opting for faded sweatshirts and skipping makeup or haircuts. Comfort became king. She stopped checking the mirror, convincing herself it didn't matter. But she started noticing changes. Neighbors who once chatted warmly now gave quick smiles. Her book club friends stopped inviting her to outings. Flipping through old photos, she saw a lively woman she barely recognized, and it stung. Your appearance isn't just about others. It's a mirror of how you value yourself. Neglecting it can sap your confidence and signal to the world that you've checked out. Research shows that maintaining personal care boosts mental health and social engagement. To reignite your spark, commit to dressing with intention daily, even for small tasks like grocery shopping. Choose clean, comfortable clothes that feel like you, maybe a favorite sweater or a bright tie. Stick to a simple grooming routine: shower, brush your hair, trim your nails. These acts say, "I matter." Add a personal touch, a watch, earrings, or a splash of cologne to reconnect with your identity. Margaret started small, wearing her old favorite scarf and a bit of lipstick. At the next book club, friends noticed, saying, "You look so happy." She felt it too. What's one small thing you do to feel your best? Drop it in the comments. Number 3, clinging to old routines. Margaret was a creature of habit. She read her morning newspaper, called friends on her rotary phone, and paid bills with checks. When her son suggested texting or using a budgeting app, she waved him off. "I've always done it this way," she'd say. "It works." But as her family shifted to group chats for updates, photos of her grandkids' birthday plans, she was left out. Calls dwindled, and she missed milestones like her grandson's soccer games. She felt disconnected, not just from technology, but from the people she loved most. Stubbornness can isolate you. The world evolves, and resisting change, whether it's learning a new skill or trying a new way, builds walls. Embracing small shifts keeps you connected and mentally sharp. Start by saying, "I'll try it," instead of, "I don't need that." Ask for help, turn it into a bonding moment. Let your grandkids teach you to text or show you a new app. Begin with baby steps, send one text, or try a new route to the store. Margaret let her son set up a simple messaging app. At first it felt clunky, but soon she was smiling at photos of her grandkids' art projects and joining family chats. What's one new thing you've learned to stay connected? Share in the comments. Number 4, hoarding memories and mess. Margaret's home was a museum of her life. Old report cards from her teaching days, stacks of yellowed magazines, clothes she hadn't worn since the 90s. She kept it all. Every piece has a story, she'd say. But her cozy bungalow turned chaotic. Clutter made cleaning a chore, and she hesitated to invite friends over, fearing they'd judge the mess. Her daughter worried about tripping hazards, but when she suggested decluttering, Margaret snapped, "I might need this someday." Deep down, though, the clutter felt like a weight tying her to the past instead of the present. Clutter doesn't just crowd your space, it clouds your mind, raising stress and limiting social invites. It can even pose safety risk. Falls are a leading cause of injury for seniors. To break free, start small, tackle one drawer or shelf. Ask, "Do I use this? Does it bring joy?" If not, donate, recycle, or pass it to family. Set a daily goal. Let go of one item. Margaret began with old papers, recycling stacks of magazines. She donated unworn clothes and gave her daughter a cherished necklace. Her home felt open, and she hosted a game night for the first time in years. What's one thing you've decluttered that made a difference? Tell us in the comments. Number 5, losing patience too fast. Margaret used to be the calm teacher who soothed upset students. But lately, small things set her off. At the post office, a slow clerk fumbling with stamps made her mutter, "Can't you speed up?" The clerk's face fell, and Margaret felt a pang. She'd become the impatient person she once disliked. Aging can shorten your fuse, tasks take longer, and frustrations build. But snapping doesn't just hurt others, it spikes your stress too. To stay kind, pause when irritation hits. Take a deep breath and ask, is this worth my energy? Reframe the moment. The slow clerk might be learning. The hesitant driver might be nervous. Offer a smile or a kind word instead. No hurry, you're doing great. These small acts reduce tension and build warmth. Margaret tried this at the post office, saying, "Thanks for your help." The clerk smiled and she felt calmer. How do you handle impatience? Share your tips in the comments. Number 6, monopolizing conversations. Margaret loved sharing stories, her teaching days, her travels, but she noticed her son's calls grew brief, almost rushed. One day, she asked, "Are you okay? You don't talk much." He hesitated. "Mom, I love your stories, but sometimes I can't get a word in." Margaret was floored. She hadn't realized she was dominating talks, interrupting with her own tales or advice before he could finish. As we age, we want to share wisdom, but not listening pushes people away. Balance is key. Pause after speaking and ask, what's going on with you? Let others finish without jumping in. Ask open-ended questions. What's been the best part of your week? Be present. Put down distractions and really hear them. Margaret tried this listening as her son shared work stress. She asked questions, held back advice. Their calls grew longer, deeper. Have you ever felt unheard or caught yourself talking too much? Let's discuss in the comments. Number 7, refusing help out of pride. Margaret prided herself on independence. She'd raised 3 kids, run a classroom, and never needed a hand. But as tasks like carrying laundry or climbing stairs got harder, she refused help. One day, struggling with a heavy trash bin, a neighbor offered, "Let me get that." She forced a smile, "I've got it." But she didn't. Her arms shook and she felt alone afterward. Refusing help wasn't strength, it was isolating her. Accepting help builds connection, not weakness. It lets others feel valued. Practice saying, "Thanks, I'd appreciate that." If you need support, ask directly. "Could you help me with this?" Margaret accepted her neighbor's help next time, and they chatted over coffee afterward. She felt connected, not diminished. Do you struggle with asking for help? Share your experience in the comments. Number 8, hoarding happiness for later. Margaret was a saver, coupons, pennies, dreams. She skipped outings, thinking, "I'll treat myself when I really need it." Her savings were secure, but her days felt empty. When a friend invited her to a local art festival, she hesitated. Tickets weren't cheap. But she went, and the colors, music, and laughter reignited her spirit. She wondered, why did I wait so long? Saving is wise, but life is for living. Studies show experiences, trips, hobbies, meals bring lasting joy, unlike possessions. Set a joy budget for small treats, a concert, a class. Ask if not now, when Margaret started saying yes to outings and her days sparkled. What's one experience you've delayed? Share in the comments. Number 9, dismissing younger generations. Margaret adored her grandson Theo, but his love for streaming shows bugged her. "In my day, we read books or played outside," she'd say. Theo's smiles faded, his visits shorter. She didn't mean to push him away, but her words made him feel judged. Criticizing younger generations creates distance, not connection. Be curious, not critical. Ask what's cool about that show. Share your past to relate, not compare. We loved radio dramas kind of like your podcasts. Encourage, I'm proud of how you navigate this world. When Margaret asked Theo about his favorite show, He lit up explaining the plot. Their talks grew lively. How do you connect across generations? Tell us in the comments. Number 10. Letting joy slip away. Margaret's days had become a Loop Chores news bed. Old photos showed her dancing, laughing with friends, but she couldn't remember her last real laugh. When a neighbor invited her to a trivia night, she almost said no, but she went, and the silly questions and team banter had her laughing until her sides ached. She felt alive again. Joy is vital. It reduces stress, boosts immunity, and draws people to you. Schedule fun, watch a comedy, join a club, seek cheerful company, rediscover old loves, gardening, singing. Margaret started hosting trivia nights, and her home buzzed with life. When's the last time you laughed hard? Share in the comments. Margaret never saw how much small habits shaped her life. But when she let go of complaints, embraced new ways, and chose joy, everything changed. Her family called, more friends visited, and she felt younger, happier. The weight of loneliness lifted, replaced by laughter and purpose. Aging is inevitable, but how you age is up to you. Which habit do you recognize? What's one change you'll try today? Hit like, share this with someone who needs it, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Here's to aging with wisdom, warmth, and joy.